All right, welcome to Yeshua's King Ministries. This is number 43 as far as the sermons are concerned. I wanted to read something to you guys. It's something that was kind of odd, kind of hit me. Um, it's from John 1:5. He it talks about the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That was an interesting thing to hear. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. The English Standard Version is the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. That's Korean Standard Bible, English Standard Bible. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. It talks about that. And this was kind of a weird thing. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it, not understand the light. That makes sense to me. I'm going to show you how. Um, Once you've come to Yeshua, you begin to understand the light. The light shines in the darkness. The darkness did not grasp it, didn't understand it. We can also go into darkness. Okay, darkness is death, is a profound metaphor linking the absence of light to mortality, fear, and the unknown. Historically and biblically, it symbolizes sin, despair, and spiritual separation. While often viewed as a sinister end, it can also represent a return to the cosmic source or the peaceful release. That's the new age crap they put in there. Now, you start thinking about this. Um, and I'm sure I'm going to get all the gurus that believe that they are gods trying to trying to stop what I'm saying. There's a fight going on, and this fight's between dark and light. And if you read in the beginning, okay, in the beginning, the first part of the Bible, you'll see this same type of thing. In the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth, and the earth came to be formless and empty. The earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim was moving on the face of the waters. And Elohim said, "Let light come to be." And light came to be. And Elohim saw the light, and it was good. Elohim separated the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there became an evening, and there became a morning and a first day. Okay, so he used that darkness to form the day. Obviously, when you look at the earth as it spins, the sun cannot shine on both sides of the earth. Now, if you look at it that way, it doesn't really uh, go into darkness itself. It, it goes into the light shines and the darkness did not comprehend it. So it shows that darkness is a living thing, or it's alive, just like when Yeshua went to hell. Hell itself put the devil in chains. When hell saw that the devil had conspired to kill Yeshua, to murder him, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. The light shines in the darkness, darkness did not comprehend it. I'm just reading down. Christian Standard Bible. The light shines in the darkness, and yet the darkness did not overcome it. So they look at it as death. Darkness is death. And this is what Yeshua overcame. If you think about that for a minute, you see this every day. And if you read or listen to music in today's time, you'll notice that all the music pleads for the darkness. All the movies that you watch pleads for darkness. They try to get you to feel sorry for it. It's a very rough situation. So I'll read John 3:19 through 20. And this is the verdict. The light has come into the world, but men love the darkness rather than the light because their deeds were evil. Everyone who does evil hates the light and does not come into the light for the fear that his deeds will be exposed. But whoever practices the truth comes into the light so that it may be seen clearly that what he has done has been accomplished in God. What he has done. This is how you uh, this is how you understand what kind of world you're living in. All you're seeing in all of the movies and every song and every ballad, all these things across the world, advertisements and things like that, that's darkness pleading to make the light go away. It's constantly trying to hide itself, and it torments it, because it's this torment. Um, the devil himself does that. He does it all the time. He tries to overcome it with what do you call it? With testimony. So every time you're listening to these things, this music and all the stuff that they do, that's testimony. So you have to rebuke it. It's a testimony that the light or the dark is being oppressed, and it's constantly witnessing against the light, darknesses, and anybody who joins with it, anybody who wants to, uh, how we call that, plead for it. So a lot of times, if things like this aren't addressed, um, here's a Psalm 27:1 of David. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Whom I shall, whom shall I dread? Okay. Whomever loves his brother remains in the light, and there's no cause of stumbling in him. If anyone claims to be the light but hates his brother, he is still in the darkness. That's what they're doing. And if you listen to the songs, you'll notice they're pleading for the dark all the time, trying to make the dark the hero, the underdog, all this. And, you wouldn't see it at first unless you started looking at it that way. But it's very, very clear once you understand the light. Once you see it and you live in it, you embrace it. You get to a point where you have nothing to hide. The narrow way just gets to where you have nothing to hide. That's the light. People don't like to see that. They don't like to see that about themselves. I didn't like to see it, but I did. I did see it. And I embraced it. I was like, okay, this is what I got to do. People living in darkness have seen a great light. That's Matthew 4:16. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. This is what Yeshua was trying to do. He came here to save people and get them out of the darkness that they were put in. I'm not talking about the sun. I'm not talking about night. There's a certain darkness in spirit or in the spirit that you're trying to stay away from. And this darkness will not abate unless you embrace the light and say, I choose it. And this is the way it is. I give you one more example. Um, Here's Mandami. Okay, guaranteed. Nobody's seen this. Nobody's sitting watching him. Right before he does this executive order on immigration, he says Sharia law govern um should govern immigration. Kind of said it pretty clear. Sharia law should embrace immigration. And I look at him as why would you say something like that when you know it's a treasonous act? That's treason, folks. It's just the way it is. Mandami's committed treason at least 15 times. Just sit and watch him. Everything that man does is treasonous. So what does he do? He's hiding in the darkness. He's shielding Sharia law and executive orders by writing executive orders. That's how he's making that's how he's hiding it. And it's been that way for quite a while. Most of the state laws that are written under Islam, but they just don't write it that way. They write it in what they call English. And if you think about it, it's very clear. The state has a religion. The religion is worship Columbia, District of Columbia. Worship Columbia. That's a goddess. The state and that religion is one. Been hiding that for years. That's what Islam does. It's a religious state. There's no separation there. They made it appear as if there was separation, but there's not. And you've been living by laws under Lady Lady Liberty, I guess, or Lady Columbia. You've been living under those laws, written under her. I have no idea who that woman is, or even if it is a true woman or anything. I think it's a god they made up, and this is why they don't arrest each other. This is why Ilhan is still walking around. Nothing ever happens. If it was a true Christian nation, they would have locked him up a long time ago. But for some reason, boy, they just got a lot of forgiveness. They don't arrest anybody. They don't do anything. Well, we're going to investigate. Man, well, I remember I was on True Social and this one guy says, I can't remember, it was a guy or lady. They say, yeah, there's two words I can't understand. I can't stand to hear is investigation and a crime, but nothing happens. It's a total joke. I'm thinking that their religion does not allow them to arrest each other. That's the old Roman law. Roman citizens couldn't be arrested by military or anything else. So I'm pretty sure that's what the kind of law they're going after. But that's what happens when you worship a false god or goddess in this case. But they don't mind going after somebody that's outside of that, but they do mind going after their own. It is what it is. I don't agree with anything like that. I rebuke it in the name of Yeshua. I think it's the way they operate is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. But they are what they are. Basically, you don't have anybody with clean hands in there, so nobody's going to arrest them because if they get arrested, then they're going to tell them their secrets. So they're all blackmailing each other. It's funny to watch them. They sit and blackmail each other. This whole, oh, we're investigating this, and oh, well, we need Israel. And I think Patel said that yesterday or today. I can't remember. We need Israel. We need this. We need that. No, we know what the Kabbalist is, and we know what all's going on there. We know what the Talmud is, and we're just kind of sitting and watching. And no, I'm not going to come together with them under no hide laws. I don't need them. Don't want anything to do with them. Don't want any contracts with them. Nothing. Like I said before, be very surprised at how much I don't think of Jewish people if they want to call themselves that. I don't know. It's just crazy. But they sure do hate the light. And this is somebody that comes up to you every day and says, "Do you say anything about Jewish people? Do you say anything about them?" No, no, we're good. That wasn't in our conversation. 5 minutes later, have you been hearing anybody talk about us? No. I think you're going to get yours in the afterlife. It's just how badly they treat people that follow Yeshua is horrible. It's not justified. You have a people that loves another people, but they love them so much that they can't see how they're being treated. They don't even allow you to preach about Jesus in Israel. Israel, they won't allow it. That's darkness fighting the light. The light comes in, they don't like it. That's the way it works. And I've noticed this over and over everywhere. So I get it when they're talking about darkness. And if you don't, you like the darkness if you're doing some bad stuff. And we know their plans, what they plan on doing, and it's not good. It's not good for us because in their life, and they think that we're going to be slaves. Good luck on that. Good luck on that one. Not going to happen. So, and by the way, Yeshua is not Jewish. He was not conceived by a Jewish man. There was no Jewish man anywhere. He's not Jewish. He was of the set apart spirit. That means he was something that you don't even understand. You have no one had any understanding of what he was, period. And they still don't today. No understanding whatsoever. When you're conceived of the set apart spirit, there was nobody, no man in there. She was a virgin. And those who don't believe that, you're just retarded. That's all I can say. But he was not a Jewish man. And there are so many lies. They have to get you to believe that so that you will worship their antichrist that they're getting ready to try to bring in. That's all it is. That's all they're doing. It's a setup. And I've watched this and just it's amazing when you know the story, you know what they're going to do. It's amazing to watch them actually follow through with it and then act like they're hiding something. And that's that's very funny. It's very humorous to watch. It's like a kid that you're sitting here watching them. I think it was a video I was watching that was a guy stealing from this other guy, and he got all upset because it was a video on him. Like, here, you're sitting there stealing out of the man's pocket. And he got caught. Didn't like that. But luckily, Yeshua brought us in. He uh, it was amazing to bring us in as a adopted part of his family. And there's nothing the anybody can do that doesn't like that idea. There's nothing you're gonna do. So everybody sit back and watch the show and what they're getting ready to do. And it'll be fun to interesting to even observe it. It's over, guys. I'm just letting you know. The whole idea of a one world government that you guys are trying to beat, because Yeshua has one already. There has been one world government for over 2,000 years, and all you're trying to do is bring in yours. And it's not. It's going to fall. It's made on the house of. It's made on sand. The foundation is sand because Yeshua is the cornerstone. They I know what they did. I basically understand about a good, I don't know, 10, 15% of what Yeshua and the Father did. And yes, we have, oh, I'll get that one for you too. We have on our website, Yeshua, Jesus is not our Father in heaven. They're two different things. Okay, there we go. Jesus is not God. And it says many Christians today make the common statement that Jesus is God. They go around the world pushing the claim. They're going to provide facts as to why Jesus is not God, or we're going to. That's what we did. Okay, here's some. First, here in some definitions to set the groundwork. The creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority, the supreme being. Lesser entity, God, that's all lowercase letters. Jesus, the teacher, Messiah, whose life, death, resurrection conveys a message of salvation through him. Yeshua, aka Jesus, Son of Yahweh. Jesus and Yeshua are used interchangeably throughout the articles and sermons. Okay. Okay. Modern translations of the Bible merge the words Father, Yahweh, and Elohim into one term, and they called him God. By doing this, they have greatly confused who Jesus is in relation to us. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the same was in the beginning with God. All things were made through by him. And without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness to the light, that all men through him might believe. Through him. He was not through. That means it's a destination. He was not the light that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. This was the true light, which lighteth every man and that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own receiveth him not. Verses. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Elohim, and the Word was Elohim. He was in the beginning with Elohim. All came to be through him, and without him, not even one came to be that came to be. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from Elohim, whose name was Yohanan. This one came for a witness to bear, witness of the light, that all might believe through him. He was not that light, but that might bear witness of that light. He was the true light, which enlightens every man, coming into the world. He was the world. He was in the world, and the world came to be through him. And the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. There you go. Came through him. That means there was a destination. There was a beginning and a destination. God used in the first scripture would be described as Jesus as God, but the second version shows Jesus as part of a divinely influenced spiritual authority. Elohim, Yahweh, and the Father are translated as God in most Bibles. The Father creates through Jesus as man creates through a woman. And then Jesus mentions going to the Father. Jesus prays to the Father. Listen to this. Below you will see Jesus' words. All right. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Now, he's not talking to himself. Father knows me, and I know the Father. That's two separate. John 20:17. Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Then Jesus went with them to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." And taking with him Peter and the two sons, he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is very sorrowful, even to death. Remain here and watch with me." And going a little farther, he fell on his face and prayed, saying, "My Father, if it possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." So there's two separate wills there. He's talking to his Father. And you goofballs are listening to these people go, "Oh, here's God." All right. "My Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." And he came to the disciples and found them sleeping, and he said to Peter, "So could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray, and you might enter into temptation. Oh, that you might enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." Again, for the second time, he went away and prayed, "My Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done." There are more examples. This is his relationship with the Father. Below you will see proof that Jesus and the Father are two separate beings, separate but one. This concept is better understood once Jesus enters into you. But can be similarly understood as a husband and wife. Husband and wife are both the Joneses. Um, they both are in one flesh and working with one goal, but yet two. This, of course, is the Father's design, but of course, sin interferes with the marriage. Here's this. As a quote, "For I did not speak on my own, but the Father who sent me commanded me to say all that I have spoken." That is so clear, folks. Extremely clear. This solves the issue whether he's God or not. Okay? So Jesus said to them, this is not me saying, this is the Bible. "Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of his own accord, but only what he sees the Father doing. But about the day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father." The verses above show that there is an authority difference between Yeshua and the Father, Jesus, and the Father Yahweh. Jesus was given authority over heaven and earth. However, some matters are only decided on by the Father. He will have been told multiple times by Jesus, and he will present a matter to the Father. We wait for Jesus' return with the Father's decree. Here's the Old Testament display of who Jesus is. He was, we see instructions to the Father, chosen to pitch a tabernacle wherein the people will have a way to communicate with the Father. However, not everyone was allowed into the innermost parts of the tabernacle. There was appointed one who appeared before the Father in everyone's behalf. This high priesthood was given to Jesus. and he was crowned king and high priest. Now, this is what is the problem with calling Jesus God? Jesus is the high priest. He is a Messiah, and he is the king. Mankind was rejected and a regretted creation by the Father. In other words, you guys, everyone's so wicked, he just regretted even making you. So this was set up where Yeshua came and bought you. Now, if you don't turn to him before the end, before your last breath, not that you have all the way to your last breath, but if you don't return to him or turn to him, that's it. You don't have anybody to plead for you. You're done. That judgment is stands. So mankind was rejected and regretted creation by the Father. Jesus bought us and rejects the rejects so that we can live. We deserve to die forever in hellfire for the evil we commit daily. Through Jesus, a relation with the Father is restored. None of this can happen properly if you do not recognize who is who. There has to be two separate ones in order for the Bible to fit. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any sense. Who? It's like going to a courtroom with no attorney. Rarely you will win a case because the judge is only listening to a legal language. Jesus is your attorney, so to speak, and covers you legally in front of a judge. So here are a few issues you cause with the illusion that Jesus is God. You miss the opportunity to get to know your king. That is true. You are easily deceived by the devil and his minions. My people go to hell for the lack of knowledge. You fail at one of the commandments, which is seek the Father with all your heart, mind, and being. Commandment number 1, thou shalt not make any graven image of the Father. Statues and crosses of Jesus. At the same time, calling him God, you made a graven image of the Father. Think about it. Statues and crosses of Jesus. At the same time, calling him God, you made a graven image of the Father. Okay, we hope that this little article will help you recognize your mission, which is to reconcile with the Father through his Son. And he's going to arbitrate for you and let Jesus represent you and accept him as your kinsman and redeemer so that you may live in the new heaven and new earth forever. Okay. Says where Jesus is referenced alone, he can be referred to as God. But where Jesus is and the Father are referenced together, only the Father is referred to as God. This is akin to the sun and its light. For example, when sunlight is shining through a window, you can call it light, sun. But if we want to reference both sun and its light together, only the sun can be referred to as such. Its light has been called sunlight for some other term. That was a little bit extra tidbit on there. So, um, that is very clear to me. I don't think that we need to go any further and with this ignorant claim that Jesus is our Father in heaven. They're both different, and he recognizes it many, many, many times. I even saw about 3 other examples in the Bible. We just didn't put them in here. Okay, so um, uh, be rest assured, he is not. Uh, when you pray through him in his name. The whole thing. It's very, very clear. All right. So don't forget Sharia. Noticed that Sharia is all just dropped as if nothing happened. And when the system does that, they do that to protect their plans as to what they're getting ready to do next. But Sharia is still creeping, and they're trying to hide it under executive orders. Mondami is a real piece of work there, and he doesn't realize that. Well, I really don't care about what he is. So I'm just not going to listen to him, and I'll move on. So thanks for listening and attending one of our sermons. This is sermon number 43, and we'll see you next time.